Hello, 32-bit people. I'm Jardog. I'm creating a new programming language with Python-like syntax. Now, let's look at project introduction. Project name is Yaksha. I am going to use C++17, Python 3, a little bit of Bash, and Cmake. I am going to make an interpreter first, then use that as basis to create a compiler. YouTube videos will start from the basics. However, please keep in mind this is not for beginners. I assume you know how to set up an IDE, compile things, and have basic programming skills. I'm also live coding this project on Twitch. However, it is a bit ahead and slightly different from what you see in YouTube. Eventually, YouTube content will catch up to live streams. If you go to GitHub project linked below, you should look at Scratch branch. My references are experience, books, and various other resources. If you have any constructive criticism, please let me know. Project is broken down into chapters. So what you are watching now is chapter 1. There are multiple things to do in chapter 1, so it might span few episodes. I plan on creating approximately 15 chapters. Getting started chapter is where we set things up and add dependencies. In chapter 2, we cover tokenization, also known as scanning. This is where we take a string and break it into meaningful tokens. In chapter 3 and 4, we will create the abstract syntax tree and use visitor pattern to implement visualizers and create an interpreter. We will start emitting C code in chapter 5. I have decided to use C to simplify things. It is also possible to directly emit, for example, x86 assembly. However, this makes it hard for our programs to run in different architectures. So I'm going to use C as a portable assembly. Then we will move on to more advanced chapters, adding more features to the compiler, AST, and do few compiler optimizations. Abstract structures will provide minimal object-oriented capabilities. Chapter 11 to 15 is to be revealed later. So let's create the folders here. Third, scripts, source, test data, and tests. Alright, we created them. Now what we are going to do is simply go into these folders and create a file called .keep with a text like do not delete. This allows us to ensure these folders are preserved in Git. Alright, let's repeat that for all the folders here. I have speed up the video. Awesome. It is done now, and yep, that looks all right. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to simply create a commit. Yeah, style looks good. So this is basically where I created the folder structure. So I'm just gonna create a commit for this and push it. So like this, I will create small commits and push them to Git. If you go to the GitHub repo, you can all see these commits. Okay, that's done. All right, now I'm gonna create these 3 CPP files, starting with main CPP, and then first main and test main. Yep. So these 3 CPP files are I'm just going to now show you the kind of a structure of how things gonna look like. Before I forget, let me add the bin folder real quickly here. Inside the bin folder, I'm going to just add 2 more folders. One is coverage and one is fuss. So these 2 folders are going to have the output of code coverage, and the output of fuzzy input generator. Yeah, you're going to follow creating the files. They are .keep files. Yeah. All right. That is the structure that we are going for. Yeah. So we got the third bin, script, source, test data, and test. Yes, and I pushed this to the same git commit as before. So it is in one commit. I force pushed it. All right. Now let's go to the Cmakelist file. All right. So I'm going to set the minimum requirement here that is the minimum required CMake version. So we know that the project name is Yaksha, so I'm going to specify that here. So if you are using a different name, that's fine. All right. So I have set up the flags here, which basically say that we are going to use the C++ standard 17 and allow us to read the environment variable CMake C++ flags as well. Yeah, the install prefix is going to be build. This is fine. Fairly straightforward stuff. All right. Another thing is to set up the bin folder, uh, which is where we are going to put the binary files, specifically the 3 binary files that are going to get created by the 3 main CPP files, which we created before. They are empty for now. We'll set them up later in the video. So the bin folder is going to have the binary files placed inside. Yeah, so what we are doing now is setting up the bin folder properly. We ensure that we are getting the absolute path of that. So when the CMake generates different kinds of make files, it all writes to that absolute bin folder path. All right. Here I'm just going to set a simple directory here that we are going to refer to a folder inside third folder. Now this is going to be simply a third party GitHub submodule, Git submodule, which we which we will add later. All right. Now I'm going to add the UTF support by simply including that source directory, which we set it up before. All right. There you go. So since we are just starting, I'm not going to add any source files here or test files here, but we will add a test file later on in the video. So for now, just going to create these 2 variables with nothing in them. Now, creating the first executable here, which is going to be the Yaksha binary, and that is the main CPP. All right, we add the sources here, and then we add the main CPP. Yeah, if you know CMake, that you will notice I'm not putting the common sources as a library, which I will do later on. If we do it that way, we don't need to compile the same thing again and again, but it is fine for now. We will do that later in a separate video. All right, now let's add support for the tests. So the tests are going to have their own binary. That is going to be Yaksha tests. And we are going to use the catch2 third-party library, which we are referring here. We are going to add it as a subdirectory here because we want to use the Cmakelist file that they have put in that catch2 folder. Yeah. So this catch2, we are using the version 2 branch. We are not using the version 3. The new stuff, we are sticking to the version 2. That's what I know. So I'm going to stick to that. It's working fine. It's good enough for now. All right. So the like I said, we could probably create a library that has the source files in that, and then link that to the executable. But let's stick to this for now. Yeah, this is simply setting up the Yaxter test for testing purposes. Yeah, we need to link it with the catch2. You can read about these things much more if you go to the catch2 documentation. I'm just following that. All right, here we are setting up the C test. This allows us to, for example, see the different tests that we had in C Lion. Yeah, so you need to use C test for that. And basically, you can create your own test binary without using C this catch2 or any other libraries. But uh, the one advantage is that we can easily use it with C test using the contrib catch.cmake file, and that allows us to simply run different tests in our IDE, which makes things a lot easier. Now we are setting up the fuzzer binary here. All right, let's clean stuff up a bit. Okay, yeah, that is going to be the main binary. All right, stuff look good. Come on down and let's create the first binary. Good. So the first binary is going to be like the main binary. Only difference is we are going to give it fuzzily generated input. Oh, I think I typed something wrong. Let me delete that. All right, there you go. Let's add the source files. Yeah. So there's no reason for us to add the test files here. So obviously we are going to fuzz the source files. And then we will put in the first main. All right. Let's go to the main CPP. Yeah, let's open it in Vim. All right, just going to create a dummy main here, which you already know. It's quite trivial. Yeah, int main, fairly straightforward stuff. Don't type int there. I need to type char pointer to char array. Yeah, there you go. It looks decent, and I'm gonna just return 0. Yeah, looks fine, all good. That's just gonna compile to a dummy executable, which is what we need at the moment to set up the project. All right, I'm simply going to delete the dummy files that I created before. We will set them back up in the IDE. Alright, come on. Yeah, let's delete that. Don't delete the main CPP. Just delete those two. Alright, stuff look good. Yeah, there you go. Things are looking fine. Alright. Alright. We are simply going to add the submodules here. Oh, I had to use force here, but I don't think you will need to. Just normally adding the submodule should be fine. It's basically to set up the UTF-CPP and catch2. Alright, now if you open the Git module, it should look like this. See that the catch2 is on the branch version 2. Alright, let's open it up in our CLine IDE. Alright, so we are greeted with an error. Oh yeah, we deleted these files, didn't we? So that's why they are not there. So we should go and create them. Alright, let's create them back by simply copying the main CPP there. Alright, that's done. Let's go back. Okay, now I'm just gonna tell CLine to reload the Cmak files. So if you're using different IDE, the stuff should be similar. Alright, it's all good, but it's gonna complain now that there are no test cases. Alright, no test cases. Alright, yeah, the binaries are built there, which is fine, looks good. That's what we want to do. Yeah, binaries are built, but there are no tests basically. Yeah, we need to add a test. Alright, let's open up the test main. Yeah, so this file is going to change. So we need to change this so that it uses this stuff from catch2. So the catch2 has this header file that we need to include. Yeah, and this once you define this catch config main, it's gonna create the main method for us, and we can just use that. Yeah. So what I'm gonna do now is create some placeholder file here. Yeah, test tokenizer, which we will use for real in the next upcoming videos, but for now it's just going to have some placeholder test case. So here it is quite straightforward. I'm gonna include the catch2 header file. Yeah, I mistakenly included in the CPP file, but it should be the header file. All right, so this is going to be some placeholder test. All right, yeah, I'm just gonna say require true. Looks good. Yeah, just put 2 spaces there. All right, looks nice. I'm not gonna worry about the formatting yet because I will add the Clang format configuration and then format everything from that, which is going to be better. And CLine also support formatting using Clang format. Yeah, now I'm editing the Cmakelist, adding that placeholder test. Oh, yeah, there's an error here. Let's see how I solved it. Yeah, this obviously the CPP file being included. All right, come on me, go and fix the error. All right, yeah, you can't include a CPP file because it's not there. Okay, let's go to the test main. Yeah, there it is. There's a proper header. Yep, there you go. Once that is done, the error goes away and you can run it. Look, yeah, that's how it looks like you would see in PyCharm or IntelliJ. Looks nice. You can run individual tests, which is quite useful. Yeah, I'm going to now delete the .keep files which we don't need. Remember that we pushed this file to Git already. Yeah. So these are the .keep files we don't need. Test data, I'm going to keep it because I didn't add anything there. Yeah, I've added the submodules. So yeah, the UTF-CPP is giving us the UTF-8 support. Alright, stuff looks good. Yeah, got the main binary. Alright, we added that as a submodule. Yeah, stuff are looking good here. Cool, yeah, that is for adding the test. Alright, yeah, yeah, makes sense. This is needed to discover the test cases basically. All good. Yeah, stuff look good. Alright, so we are now coming to the end of the video. What I'm gonna do is simply push this stuff to Git. By Git, I mean the GitHub repo, which, which everybody has access to, which is a public repo. Alright, I'm gonna create a git ignore. I'm not gonna show you how I created that, just go and refer that, it's just standard git ignore. Alright, I'm just gonna, yeah, style is good. Yeah, let's get the stuff committed, clean up the .keep files and all these. Yeah, I'm gonna do multiple commits here. Yeah, it's kind of a build, isn't it? Submodules. Alright, adds UTF-CPP. Alright, things looking good. Yeah, style, add the git ignore. Alright, this is gonna be, yeah, again build, adding the main binaries. Hey, thank you for watching. That is it for this video. Hope to see you again. Please like and subscribe.